Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'd be talking about compare and contrast language. This video basically focuses on academic task 1 writing of IELTS. So if you are a candidate or an aspiring candidate who wants to sit in the examination of IELTS soon or planning to sit in the examination soon, don't forget to watch this video. Thank you so much. Let's start. So, our first example is weekly ice cream sales. Let's look at the chart carefully. It's a pie chart actually. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. It's divided into 3 parts. Remember, a pie chart always consists of 100%. Using the actual number or value given. Let's see an example over here. 200 units of the ice cream sold weekly are strawberry flavored. 400 of the ice cream cups sold in the school were vanilla flavored. 600 units of chocolate flavored ice cream were sold. Please look at the sentence formation. Whenever you are making sentences, you need to make sure that you are writing accurately and clearly. The examiner must be impressed by your writing. Now that doesn't mean using really difficult words. You need to be accurate to the task, and please make sure you cover task response carefully. And for GRA, that is grammatical range and accuracy, you need to make different sort of sentences, range of sentences that we can see here on this slide. How can you use percentages? Example, 50% of all ice cream sold were chocolate flavored. 33% of the ice cream sales were the vanilla flavored option. 17% of the school's ice cream cup sales represented those flavored strawberry. So here we can again see 3 different sentences talking about 3 different things. And how do we start? We start with a percentage. Let's move. Based on this data, the school should order this flavor the least for the following weeks, as it does not seem as popular with students as the chocolate flavored one. The use of phrases that begin with the article E. How can we do that? You can use phrases that show or present an idea of some amount or portion in discussing charts. Some of the phrases you could use are a small number, a huge number, a minority, a majority, a small group, a large group. A small group shows to have taken interest in studying German as well as Spanish. This is just an example. Just assume that there is a data given on German and Spanish. A minority is shown to represent those studying German, Spanish and French. So we have an addition of French here. According to the Eurostat survey, a very large number choose to study English. So if you have a question that talks about studying different subjects or languages, you can write like this instead of mentioning the exact amount of it or the number or the figure. In fact, this number is larger than putting all the other top 3 languages together. So it is good if you write like this. The use of phrases beginning with the preposition of. Of can mean taken from here. Of in the phrases can be used to mean 2 different things. Of can mean taken from, such as in phrases like of the research made, of the data gathered, or of the observation made. Of the survey conducted by Eurostat in 2015, English is the #1 language studied in the world. Of the research made, people who studied English at 94% far outnumbered those who studied other languages, the next being only 23%, which is French. I understand that the second sentence is a bit complicated, I would say. But this is a really good sentence because it can show the examiner that the candidate is able to merge two different data into one sentence. Try to do like this if you want to achieve better band score. Now let's see another example. Of the data gathered, chocolate shows as the best-selling flavor in the school. Of the totals derived, vanilla shows as the second most popular flavor to the students. The use of phrases beginning with the preposition of. Now, of can mean out of the. Of can mean out of the, such as in phrases like of the participants in the survey, of the total number of the initial attendance. For example, of the total number of ice cream cups sold, 400 of them were vanilla. Of all the flavors of ice cream sold, chocolate is no doubt the best seller. Comparisons between sentences. Now how can we do that? Let's see. You can use certain phrases like in contrast. The most popular form of holiday among the Welsh was self-catering, with over 60% choosing to cook for themselves. In contrast, only 5% of the English chose this form of vacation, and hotel accommodation was much more popular at 48%. Let's see another example. Now it says in comparison. Almost 50% of the English, Scots and Northern Irish choose to stay in a hotel for their holiday. In comparison, staying in self-catering accommodation was much less popular, with around 10% of people choosing this. Now next word is however. The general pattern was for hotel accommodation to be the most popular, with around half the people choosing it. The majority of the Welsh, however, chose to stay in self-catering accommodation. Now can you see the comparison? These are two different actually sentences and we are trying to link it here. Let's move. On the other hand, it is clear that a majority of the British chose to stay in hotel for their holiday. On the other hand, there was an exception to this because over 50% of the Welsh opted for self-catering accommodation. Now, comparisons with sentences. Now we are trying to see how to compare within sentences. While there are 4 million miles of train lines in the UK, there are only 3 million in France. Whereas the majority of the French prefer to travel to work by train, only a small minority of the British do this. Although 15% of the French read novels, only 5% of the British do. But almost 25% of French females study maths with a private tutor, but nearly 16% study English with one. It's 60, sorry. Let's move. Comparisons with more or less or fewer. Let's see how to do it. We can use than. Than is always used for comparison. Remember that after more, less, fewer, we use than. 5% more girls chose to read books than go to cinema. Fewer or less, how can we use it? If the word is uncountable, we use less. If it is countable, we use fewer. Do you get that? Let's see. Fewer mobile phones were bought in 2013 than 2014. Less oil was consumed in 2013 than 2014. Qualify your comparisons with much, far, slightly, or a number. Let's see how to do that. This is similar. The idea here is that you still use less, more, fewer, but this time you explain how much. Typically, the best way to do this is to use a number. Far fewer people chose to travel by train than by car. So where's the detail? It's missing, right? 25% fewer people chose to travel by train than by car. Now it's better. We have detail and not just a comparison. So you need to make sure that you can use comparative words, but you need to mention detail as well. Let's move. Comparisons with most or least or fewest. How to do that? The most popular form of entertainment in the UK was going to the cinema. The least common form of transport was taking a taxi. That means we are talking about the preference here. Comparisons with similar or same or as. Remember, whenever you are using linkers within the sentences, they actually fetch you better band score if you are using it correctly. Let's see example. Similar to. The percentages of females and males who studied languages at university were very similar. A similar amount of gas and electricity was used domestically in homes. The figures for 1220 were very similar to the figures for 2030. Same as. How to do that? The percentage of females who studied at the university in 2011 was almost exactly the same as in 2012. So can you see how we are comparing here? Now how to comparison or how to do comparison with differ, different and difference. Let's see. The amount of time spent at home differed by almost 25% according to gender. There was a difference of over 25% in the amount of time males and females spent at home. This figure was very different among males, only half of whom watched television. Let's see comparisons with numbers. How to do that? 5 million more, less, fewer. 5 million fewer units of gas were sold in 2014. Twice. Now this means double. Twice as many people elected to use gas and not electricity for cooking. Note the twice as structure. Twice the amount of gas was used for cooking in this period. Note that we amount with uncountable nouns. You need to keep this in mind, right? Now let's see 4 times. 4 times as many people chose to heat their house with electricity as with gas. Half. Half the number of people chose to use gas as electricity. Electricity was half as popular as gas for cooking. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. And please comment down below if you need any important content from us. I will make sure that I make and show or represent it to you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day.